This conference will now be recorded.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about the gateway. So let's take an analogy like I was saying that we are sitting in a room and the way we can go outside and come in the room is via the door. The door is the gateway for us to enter or leave the room. In a similar fashion, gateway is one of the IP address through which all the packets are transmitted to the outside world, and any traffic or the packets that has to come or connect or as a request it has to come to the service to the server, then it has to come via the gateway, right? So within all the IP ranges that we were talking about in the CIDR notation, the first IP is always assigned to the gateway, and one of the IP address is assigned to the broadcasting is assigned as a broadcasting IP address, and the rest of the IP address are available for the users to use it from there. Okay, then we have the domain name server. We might be we are aware of what is a domain name server. Like when you type in google.com, that is the name which um, uh, basically is a, excuse me. So let's take an example like when you type in google.com, you are typing the URL and the name of the website. So internally what happens is it goes to the nearest domain name server and it resolves the IP address of the server. Okay, so let's take this IP address. So when you type in this, it goes to the nearest domain name server and it resolves the IP address as 8888, like this something. So each URL or the website has got this domain name server mapping. So whenever you type in the URL, it goes to the nearest provider, and there are different levels there. Domain name server, it goes to the IP address. It looks at the local provider, internet service providers cache, and then it goes to the next. There are globally there are around 8 to 9 domain name servers where you can search for the your domain, your URL details there. Okay, so that resolution happens using the domain name server. Okay, the basic understanding that we need to have. And coming to the UDP protocol, there are different protocols with which we can transmit the data, and UDP is one among them. It is generally regarded as fast but unreliable service because of the fact that you'll not get the response back or the acknowledgement for each packets that are sent on the internet. Now, this type of protocol is, if you look at a use case for this live streaming or multiplayer gaming, in those situations, this is very useful, wherein you want the data to be streamed on the in a very in a lively manner, or in a situation where you want the data to be sent, but even if there are some loss of data, like you are watching a cricket match, even if there is loss of data here and there, but still the experience is there and you are getting the information the real time. Okay, so in those situations you can go with the UDP protocol, but there's another protocol like TCP, transmission control protocol. it is relatively slow, but it is reliable. That means a packet is sent and it waits for the acknowledgement, and only when the acknowledgement is reached, it sends the next packet. Okay, so this is a TCP protocol what we are using to connect to our SSH secure shell. Underneath, we are using the TCP protocol, and we are connecting a secure uh, um, the transport from the server and the client there. Okay, so this is a protocol that we have here. So any questions on this one? Okay, shall we move on to the next slide then? Yeah. Okay. So this is the summary of what we have seen this till this point of time, like the way you troubleshoot your network. These are the four essential things that are required for any node or the device to be on network. So the first thing you'll check if the IP address is correct. It is part of your subnet range or not. And next you'll be checking if the subnet mask is properly applied, and what is the gateway address for the machine that you're connected, and is the domain name system properly configured and it is resolving your service or the server name. So these are the four important things that we should be aware of. Let's say if anything happens, you can verify these things and talk to the respective teams to get it resolved. Because sometimes you don't have access to the networking aspects of your server, so you need to talk to their team and get it resolved. You can just say them if there is any problem with the gateway or the domain name system or the IP address, and they'll get it resolved from there then on. Okay, okay, going on to the next slide. Okay, so this example we already seen what is the IP address, subnet mask, network range, and things like that. So we'll go on to the next slide. So there is a service that is running called as dynamic host configuration protocol service, which is responsible for assigning an IP address for your machine whenever you connect to your router. So this service, what it does is randomly it will check for the freely available IP address in the range, and it will dynamically apply, or it provides IP address to your machine when you are connected. So that's the reason why you can see that whenever you are plugged into your router, every day if you go and check, the IP address is changing. You can check with what is my IP address in the Google, and it will tell the IP address that your machine is connected with. Okay, so that is dynamically provided. So this service, it will check for the available IP address range, and whatever is free, it will assign to the machine when you are connected. Okay, and these are some of the networking commands that we have. Like if you want to check the host name, just type in the host name, and the file where the information is available is at this path, etc sysconfig network. If you want to check the IP address, you go with the command like ifconfig, and that details is all found in the sysconfig network scripts ifconfig, and it starts with eth. Okay, this is the file where all the information is available. If you want to check the gateway details, then the command is netstat-enr, which will give the gateway details for your server that is connected. Okay, so this is about networking. It's basic information here. So any questions, let me know. If you don't have any questions, we'll start with a new topic called as shell scripting. So is it okay that we start it today, or we'll take it tomorrow? Let me know. Like,
I'm fine from my side. I'm not sure about others.
I'm also okay to start today.
okay. So let's go with the shell scripting part then. We'll go with the new presentation slide. Okay. So let's try to understand what is the shell scripting is all about, what are the different types of shells we have, and how to get started with writing a script in shell. Okay. Here there are different types of shells that are available in the market, like we call it as a bone shell, and it is represented with, or it's represented with bin sh. And there came the advanced bone shell, which is called as a bash, bin bash. And based on, let's say you are familiar with the C language and the programming style and the syntax, you can go with this this shell type called as C shell. C shell you can go with. There is something called as T shell is there, Z shell is there, corn shell is there. The different types of shells are available. The basic difference is some of the functionalities or the tools, the way we write the program, the syntax will change. Other than that, there is no difference in the shells that you're using. So you can take any of the shells that you're comfortable with. Let's go to the next slide. I'll give an example here. Let's say in bash shell, I want to write a script in bash shell, a simple if condition I want to write. So in that case, I go with the if condition block and then statement. The entire code block I'll be writing in this fashion. Okay? And I'll be ending the statement with the fi. This is not a typo. It's just the reverse of if. Fi, you end the if statement. The same thing if I want to write in a C shell. Okay, the syntax you can see here starts with the if condition flower bracket. You'll write the piece of code here. That's it. You don't have to worry about the then closing the statement, nothing. So only difference would be in how you write the how the conditions, like let's say these statements will be only changed, the syntax will change, but rest of the code block will all remain the same. So it's all depends on the convenience. If you are more familiar with this type of programming, you can go with the C shell and you can create your script. There's no problem with that one. Okay, and we'll see that how we can let's say you have written a script in C shell, I want to run it. So what are the prerequisites or what are the things I need to take care when I'm running the script? Okay. So let's go to the next slide. We'll try to understand the basic reasons why we want to learn shell or the scripting. So it is useful to write any small automation tasks, take the daily backups, or you have to do some log files. You want to take the archive of those log files in those situations, or you want to modify some files based on some pattern, and also any OS level automation you want to make because it is very close to the kernel. If you want to write any script to make any automation, so you can go with this shell. So there are day-to-day, you might not find day-to-day use cases for this, but whenever there is some manual task that you want to automate, definitely you can go with the shell scripting. Okay. Now let's look at the different extensions of the shell scripting. So usually we go with the extension like sh. Okay, that is the shell scripting. If it is bash, you can give it as .bash, C shell, CSH, Python, py, Perl, Ruby. So these are the extensions for different type of scripts that we'll be writing. So it is easily understandable for any user or any person who wants to, okay, looking at the extension, he'll come to know that, okay, this is a Python script. Sorry. And this is a Perl script and this is a Ruby script, so on. But the default one, the recommendation is that we'll be going with the script.sh. That is the extension we'll be using in our lab as well. Okay. All right. So let's try to understand how the shell scripting, a simple script would look like. Okay. So when we start with the shell scripting, the first line that we add is this one. This is called as a shebang operator, hash and the exclamation, and it will tell which type of script you are going to write. Is it on the bash format? Is it in a shell format, C shell format? What format it is? So we'll be telling the first line there. Okay, so this will be helpful because you might be interested to write it in C shell. So you need to tell the interpreter saying that the next lines of code that is following will be in this particular format, either in bash shell, C shell, T shell, or whatever. So you have to tell the interpreter that the script I'm writing will be in this particular format. So you have to go and write the first line, that is the bin bash or bin ch or bin tsh, starting with the shebang operator. Okay. All right. So the next thing is, how do you use a comment in your script? So again, starting with the hash command. So anything that you want to write as a command, comment, so you go with the hash option here. So interpreter will simply ignore, and this will be taken as a comment. All right. So the different methods how you can start writing the script, like different ways how you can invoke your script once it is written. So you can go with the bin bash. You can tell what type of script type it is. You can say bin bash and then run the script. Second method is you can give the entire path to the script, but make sure that you have all the executable permission. So if it is not there, you need to change the permissions using the command change mod and give the permissions like this, and then you can execute the script. Okay. Moving on to the next slide then. Okay, so now we are the slide where it's talking about the shell variables. like in any other languages that you might have heard, any programming languages. So variable is where you store a value. It might be a string, it can be of any other data type, string, number, or anything. So in shell, we have this way of defining the variable, that is a variable name and equals to the value that we are assigning to the variable. Okay. And please note here that there is no space between the variable and the value that you're assigning. So it is, we need to strictly follow this, otherwise it will throw an error. So you see that there is no space between the variable and the value you're assigning. Just with the equal to sign, you are assigning the value there. Okay. And we already know why we need a variable. Basically, it will add more flexibility to our operations and it can hold the runtime values. It also keeps track of all the changes that we want in a program, okay, which we want to use it again somewhere down the line in a logical way. We want to use it again. We'll store some value in a variable and we can use it in the program. Okay, so that's the reason why we want to go with the variables. Okay, now this slide talks about what are the different types of variables that are available in shell. There are certain system defined variables, like let's take this example as path variable. We might be aware, right? Path variable is there. Some of these are system defined. PWD is there. So all of these are system defined variables. And we can also define some of the variables on our own, like we can go and set some employee name, what type of system it is, age, group, some randomly we can create some variables and see that. Okay. And there are certain special variables as well, which the operating system provides for us. Let's say if I go with say $0, it will give the name of the bash script, and I want to pass some arguments to the bash script. So then I can go with $1 and $9. So this all will be seeing in the lab that's going to come next. Let's say I want to check the exit status. This is very important. We'll be using mostly this dollar question mark. Now what this does is it will check if the command has executed successfully or not. If it is executed successfully, it will return a value of 0. If it is not executed successfully, the command, let's say any command that you type in, then it will return a non-zero value. Okay, so based on this, we'll be making some decisions in the script. Same in the same way, we can use $user to get the username and so on and so forth. Okay. So any questions till this point? So these are some of the examples here, like you can see that var is equal to 10 is one of the example. And you can export it using the export command. This will be stored in the variable list there. And more on the variables again. So if you want to display the system defined variables, you can type in env, which will display all the system defined variables. Okay, and you can pipe in with the more command so that you can see the list of variables line by line there. Okay, so it will show one page and you can click on the next option to see all the list of variables there. Okay. And this is very important, like if you want to make any variable permanent, so you can add it to the bash profile. Otherwise what happens is whenever you create a variable, it will only stay until the session is available. So once you log out of the session, that variable will be lost. So in case where you want to make a variable permanent, then you have to add that variable to this bash profile. So that whenever the server is started again, it will be loaded from this bash profile. So if you want to make your variable permanent, it is recommended that you add it to the bash profile and make it as permanent variable. Otherwise, it will only last until the session is available. Once the session is logged out, your variable will be lost. Okay. So these are some of the ways where we can, this will come to the next session, this one. So any questions till this point?
Okay.
Okay, so now let's connect to the PuTTY and try to understand some of the things that we have seen here. Let's go to the PuTTY. This disconnected. Let me connect back.
I don't know why my GCP is never loading. I tried connecting it with the first option, but it's
Mhm.
always saying it's error 79, and it keeps on asking me to retry.
You are trying to connect from the browser window by any
Yes.
chance?
Which browser window? I mean, like the option SSH, the very first option
Uh-huh.
open in browser window.
Okay, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the error you are seeing there? It keeps on connecting, retries, right? It's not able
Yeah.
to connect.
Yeah, it's not able to connect. It is never giving me the console.
Okay. Would you like to refresh once and
I did.
just see that?
Yeah, I did multiple
Okay.
times, like 2-3 times. Not sure.
So you're able to see you okay. You have selected CentOS, or you are able to see
Yes.
this external IP and everything there.
Yes. Yes. I am able to see internal, external IPs, and
Okay. Mhm.
it is started. It is not stopped.
Okay. It is running. You're saying okay.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is okay. Did you make any changes? Like okay, let's click on this one and see. Did you allow this HTTP traffic
Yes.
firewalls?
Yes. I selected that.
Okay.
Both of
Selected
them.
this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. Okay. Can you share your screen so that we will have a look at what is the error you have there? Let
Um.
me see how I can provide
One
you the
second. I'm
access.
actually over mobile right now. One second. Let me
All right, all
share.
right.
Yeah. Let me share it. I can do.
So which one you're connected as? So I'm going to make as a presenter. So which user you connected as on the desktop?
I'm using my laptop.
Okay, so which user? This is the one, right? You're able to see the screen, right? I'm going to make as a presenter this one.
Okay. Okay, I'm actually trying to see where I can share my screen. Where I can share my screen? I don't
There's
see
an
that
option there.
option.
You can
Yeah,
see edit.
it is grayed out. Actually, it is grayed out.
All right. You can get
Oh,
it now.
okay. Can you? Yeah, I think I am logged in twice as Pushpa and
Uh,
Pushpaja. Can you give access to Pushpaja?
all right. I think you. Let me see.
I have to do something.
I'm just checking. Maybe. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Can you try now? Let's.
You
Yeah.
see my screen?
Yeah, we're able to see the screen. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Just go back once. Go to the VM instances. All right. Just select the browser window again.
1 second. Yeah. It's like it is stopping there.
So it's saying establishing
Yeah,
connection to
it is
SSH.
going till there, but it's not moving forward from there. And it says
That's
me to retry again.
what is this OS login saying? Migrating to OS login. What's that? Can you just click
Yeah,
on that?
I tried that too, but it is actually giving me the instructions, things and all, like setting up. It's giving me instructions.
Did you select any SSH key or something like
I
by
actually
default?
followed what you did, but
Okay, so the default
um,
options, right? Just the default
yeah,
options.
yeah.
Okay.
Let me show you those 1 second. You see them?
Okay, SSH instance ID. Yeah, this there.
You want me to move up?
Yes, just scroll down. Let's see. What is the primary IP? This is all the default one. Network tier premium. What is this? One minute. Let me check that. Or here, what's the? Okay, IP forward. Yeah, that's all same. Yeah, that's all same. No change there.
Yeah, everything was looking same. And this keeps going there, and it never finishes its task.
Okay.
I don't know. You want me to try after this? I'll try after the session. If it is not happening, I'll ask you tomorrow. I don't want to stop
Yes,
it
yes.
in between. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe you're just reconnect again from your yeah, you're connected via MacBook, right? So might
Yeah.
be we'll see if there is any issue. Just
Okay.
reconnect to the network again and try it. If
Okay.
there's still the issue persists, we'll have a look at it tomorrow morning. Maybe. Anyways,
Okay.
okay, just let me.
How do I? Should I have to give some access, or it is done?
Let me take the control back.
Okay.
I got this. All right. So let me go with this command. Like, let me restart it again. Okay. So we'll go with the env command. So this will list all the system related variables here. Okay. What type of shell it is, client, user, what is the user logged in. This is the path variable, PWD. Okay. Mail details, what is the home directory, login name, SSH connection, so on. Like these are all the system defined variables. Now let's create one of our variables, like the command is export. It's basically you need to go with a capital letter. It's recommended that you give the name of the variables in a capital letter, okay, and you assign a value like say 100, for example. Now if I want to see this variable, I go into the env and you can see that that variable is now being set to value of 100. Okay, this is how simple it is. Just you go with the export command and give any name, like my var is equal to given any name like test. Okay, and you can go with the env command. You should be able to see that variable in this list. Okay, now usually what happens is, now when I log out and log in, those variables will be lost. Okay, so in order to make them persistent, I have to add it to the bash profile. Bash profile is this one. So I need to go here. So I can come here and add the variable. So I can export. So the same variable, like my var, you can assign the value here. So any variable you want to persist, you can put it in this variable list. So you can give some value like this. Okay. So once you do this and save it, and I want to log out and log in again. Let's take a new session. Let's take a duplicate session. Again, I'm trying to log in right here. Okay, now you can go and check that. So this is the value, my var as 500. I just maximize this. My var value is 500 and variable value is 300. Okay, makes sense, right? So here, whatever you have set in the bash profile, so those values are persisted. So if you want to make the permanent, you need to add it to the bash profile. There's no other option. Otherwise, once you log off, it will be lost there. Okay, I think we'll stop it here. So we try to understand what is a shell variable and how we define it. In tomorrow's session, we'll continue with different methods, how we can pass the variables, like from the command line. We want to read input to the script, and you want to accept some data via the standard input. The different methods by which we can use the variables. So we'll go with that in the tomorrow session. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Any luck on that one? You're able to connect now, or still the same issue is there?
It's still the same. It's stuck there. I'll try
Right,
removing and recreating it and see if that works.
yeah, recreate it again. Maybe should not be any. Blocks. Can you try that? Let's see if you're still having any issue. We'll when we connect tomorrow morning, we'll have a look at it then. Okay.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Then we'll connect talk tomorrow, and we'll go with the next topics in the session then. Right.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
And Veeresh, did you get a chance to look at my resume?
I I I don't think so. I've received your profile. Let me check with you. Have forwarded it to Bhumesh
Bhumesh.
or Balu by
Yeah,
any chance?
Bhumesh.
Bhumesh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Let me check that. I haven't because I just came
I
back
know.
from a vacation, so I'll just have a look at it. I think I'll talk to him and I'll get your resume and I'll have a look at it and I'll let you know maybe in a couple of
Okay.
days then.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Veeresh. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.